Hello, welcome back. We're going to take a look at a very, very important idea, and that is gratitude, specifically within the context and meaning of A Course in Miracles, why it's so important. Now, you may have your own ideas in your life about why gratitude is so important, and it is, and it is. And you may even have your own practices related to gratitude. There are many people who have a specifically designated gratitude journal. And there are a lot of posts on social media about gratitude and what we're grateful for here in the world. And those are all very, very helpful reminders for us. Now, often, including on this video series, we talk about social media in a slightly different light because people have a platform at their ready disposal to communicate whatever they want. So you could use it, and people do, to spread hatred and misinformation and ego clinging. You can teach by demonstrating ego clinging, or you can share the Holy Spirit with people. So there are plenty of examples on social media, happily enough, of people sharing the Holy Spirit with people, of people extending love and positive messages. There are. If there weren't, then I think very few of us would actually ever be on it. And it is a mix, isn't it? So gratitude is one way that this shows up, but let's delve further into it as to why we should be grateful, what we should really be grateful for, and well, why is that so important? Really excellent questions, aren't they? So we're finishing up this very, very wonderful and packed with meaning section of the text, chapter 6, section 1, the message of the crucifixion. We're looking at the last three paragraphs today, 17 through 19. And there's a lot of really, really important stuff here. And after sharing with us in many places and in many ways the message that we cannot be attacked, we cannot be assailed, who we really are cannot be assailed in any way, and teach only love, for that is what you are, the message of the crucifixion. So after this, Jesus, at the end of this section, takes us through why gratitude is so important. And he comes right out and says that he doesn't need gratitude. God does not need gratitude, but we do. We do. We have a very weakened ability to be grateful. So part of our work here on the path is to awaken that ability to be grateful and appreciative for what? For what we are, for who we are in truth, not what we appear to be. Although there's no harm in being grateful for things here in the world. It's just we're looking beyond that with this idea today. While you're grateful for having clothes on, a shirt on your back, things to wear, things to eat, water to drink, stuff, a house, a car, while we're grateful for things like that, let's extend that gratitude to being grateful for who we are, for what we truly are, beyond everything that we see here in the world. We're looking beyond what appears on the screen. We're looking beyond it to the truth of who we are. And for that, we should all be very deeply grateful. What we're invited to do is develop this gratitude, a sense of appreciation, because you can't love what you don't appreciate. So if you do not appreciate who you are, you can't love who you are. Follows logically, doesn't it? If you don't appreciate something or someone here in the world, it's impossible to love that thing or someone, isn't it? The exact same principle applies with our true being. If you don't appreciate it, you can't love it. And fear makes appreciation impossible. It does. Fear makes appreciation impossible. So when you're afraid of who you are, of what you are, you do not appreciate it and therefore reject it. When you reject it, what do you teach? Rejection, separation, ego. This is really, really important. So when you do not appreciate what you are, you reject it. So when you're afraid of what you really are, of who you really are one with, when you're afraid of this, you can't possibly appreciate it, so you reject it, you separate from it. And therefore, when you do this, you're teaching rejection and separation. There's no need to fear who we are. Now, here in the world, it's common enough, isn't it? But there's no need to fear who you really are. It cannot be assailed. You cannot be assailed. Who you really are, the thought of God, cannot be attacked. A physical body can certainly attack another physical body, but it's not you. You, who you really are, cannot be attacked. So it's up to us to develop this ability to be grateful for who we really, truly are. There's tremendous power in you as the Son of God. And my hope here is that through these discussions, through all of this learning and your study and practice of this course, is that you begin to appreciate your power, your real power, not your earning potential in the world, although that has some importance. We're looking beyond this again. We're looking beyond how much you can bench press or the purchasing power that you have in the world. We're looking beyond this to our real power that has been given to us. It's who and what we are. It's our being, which is beyond everything that we see and feel and appear to experience here in the world when we show up looking like this, like an individual body. It's not us. It is a communication device. So what are you communicating? Are you sharing the Holy Spirit with your brother? Or are you sharing separation? Are you projecting fear? When you fear what you really are, you cannot appreciate it and therefore reject it, thereby teaching rejection. It's the way that operates. So let's move beyond this fear. There's no need to fear who you really are. You are unassailable and cannot be killed, cannot be harmed. You are not a physical body. This is an integral part of the message of the crucifixion because, as we've seen, and it's patently obvious when you think about it, in the eyes of the ego, in the perception of the ego, the crucifixion is the most gruesome and unjust form of attack and assault that you could possibly imagine. A brutal execution, murder in public. When you've done nothing wrong. So, in the eyes of the ego, that's a grievous assault. And Jesus is teaching us that no, it is nothing. It does not matter. Even the most grievous, most egregious assault in the eyes of the ego does not matter. The crucifixion is a message of peace. Teach only love, for that is what you are. Love cannot be assailed. It cannot be canceled. We can run and hide from it. You can certainly do that if you choose, but you cannot banish it. You could say that you're banishing it from your life, but you're not banishing it. You're simply hiding. So perhaps today is the day where this idea and this real, true message of the crucifixion takes root for you, that it lands and connects. And perhaps this serves as a confirmation and a relief for something that you've always felt, for something that you've always known. This may ring true for many of you, and for others, this may be something that challenges you greatly because it's not the message of the crucifixion as it's portrayed in the world. That's a bloody sacrifice and an execution style murder, pretty much. The world makes the crucifixion all about Jesus's body, and Jesus is teaching us you are not a body. He did not believe that he's a body. We don't have to believe that we're a body. We're not. Who we really are cannot be attacked. It's an amazing, beautiful message. So if we listen to the Holy Spirit, if we listen to our inner teacher, the message is we cannot hurt or be hurt. Who you really are, one with God, cannot be attacked, cannot be hurt. You can't harm either. In perfect oneness, there's no other to harm, after all. There's no sense of separation at all. There's no separation of any kind. Therefore, you cannot harm. There is, in fact, no conflict because there is no separate other. There is God, the will of God, in which you share. You are this will. So, some very powerful things. We're invited to listen to the Holy Spirit, our inner teacher, who's the communication link between God and us. So, hence the importance of making a connection with your inner teacher. And by the way, you don't have to call your inner teacher the Holy Spirit. You can call your inner teacher Mike or Raphael or whatever you want. Remember, a name is just a label. Your inner teacher is inner, part of your mind, part of you. So, in appealing to the Holy Spirit, or whatever you choose to call it, for guidance, you're not appealing to an outside power. There is nothing or no one outside of you. Part of you. This is part of you in your mind. Now, many, many people need your blessing in order to hear this for themselves. They need your love. They need your sharing of the Holy Spirit with them. They need your forgiveness in order to hear the message of the Holy Spirit for themselves, in order to see that they cannot be harmed. You cannot hurt or be hurt. You're not a body, after all. So those rules of Newtonian physics and biology, everything that we learn in science class in school, those rules don't apply. They appear to apply here in the world, for sure. Don't drop 1,000-pound weight on your toe. It's going to hurt. Just FYI, right? They appear to govern all of this. This is, in fact, an illusion. So, yeah, there are rules and principles that operate here in the dream. What's the point here? It's a dream. Who you are is beyond all of this completely. And I hope that you're beginning to get a glimpse of your real power. So gratitude for who and what you are is very important. We should all be deeply, deeply grateful for truth. We should all be deeply, deeply grateful for the truth of who and what we are. All right. So this wraps up chapter 6, section 1 of the text here. There has been a lot said, for sure, right? This is a very, very dense and rich with meaning section. It really has a lot here. So there's a lot to contemplate. And if you find yourself in any way resisting these ideas, that is perfectly normal on the path, right? It's the ego that's clinging to its apparent existence that is pulling out all of the stops, because here you are studying A Course in Miracles and you're serious about it. So the ego is no longer going to pretend that it's your little buddy. Expect some resistance if you've not encountered it. Now, what happens when you do? Pay attention to that and invite your inner teacher to assist, to guide and help you through that. Resistance is an opportunity for forgiveness. It may be helpful to you to forgive the ego. It's simply a mistake. We appear to forgive all kinds of things, and we forgive our brother, we forgive certain people, we forgive certain groups of people or organizations or governments, political parties. We forgive people that appear to be here right now, those who have passed on in historical time. We forgive the illusion of time and space itself. Forgive the world. Anything that you find disruptive to your constant joy and peace of mind. In other words, anything that upsets you here in life, even if it appears to be very small, is in fact an opportunity for forgiveness. So what we do when we're experiencing resistance is appeal to our inner teacher, ask our inner teacher for guidance, and forgive what's coming up in front of you. That upset, that existential crisis if you're having one, is an opportunity for forgiveness. Just because we're not a body doesn't mean that we don't show up here in the world and communicate with our brother. Why? There are people out there that only you will be able to effectively reach. I won't be able to reach them. Someone else might not be able to reach them, but you will. There are many people that need your blessing, that need your forgiveness, that need your kindness and extension of love, so that they may hear the voice for God, so that they may hear the Holy Spirit for themselves, so that they may get in touch with their own inner teacher and do the same thing that we're doing here. Heal the mind. There are people that need you, so we show up in the world. Spirituality, contrary to what some folks do, in fact, believe, is not about checking out. It's not about checking out. It's checking in, isn't it? It is. It's checking in with your inner teacher. You're checking inward. This is where the answers are. And we discover here, if we allow ourselves to, which is very important, that we are the message. We are the truth we've been looking for. Who we really are is the answer. So, what happens when we are inconsistent in accepting this? We listen to the answer with a capital A, our inner teacher. We listen to the voice for God. So, so important, isn't it? All right. So, in conclusion, let's all cultivate the ability to be grateful for who and what we are. All right. So, the subscription button is here. That's the red arrow. Please feel free to subscribe if you've not yet. We'd love to have you. Just go ahead and click on that and join us. This is a growing international community, and I really, really appreciate all of your comments and questions. So feel welcome to leave them if you've got them here. I will do my best to answer any questions that you may have, because I am here as a support and a guide as well. So, sometimes this path raises as many questions or more questions than it answers. Some days can feel like that. So if you're having one of those days, please feel welcome to reach out. And you know what? If you just want to stop in and say hello, please do that as well. All right. So in my bio here on YouTube is the link to my Patreon page. And every weekend, I've been doing this on a Saturday, I have an hour-long live stream. It's an hour plus or minus a few minutes, with the opportunity for live Q&A. So, yeah, opportunity to interact directly, and in this longer time frame, we're able to go into more depth on some of these ideas as expressed here in the course. So that can be an invaluable resource that's available to you. Go ahead and click the link in my bio to my Patreon page. That's where that information is. And these YouTube videos appear several times a week. So if you're just joining me, welcome. It's great to have you. And I'll see you all very soon.